I'm in quarantine with Steve Catt from the South London band Last of the Misfit Heroes. How are you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, not too bad at all. Yeah, not too bad. Just still in quarantine. So here on my own at the moment. So but it's not too bad. We've had a couple of band practices over the last couple of weeks, which has been quite nice. So that's been really good to get back into it. So it's been a while. But it's getting there. It's not too bad.
So you're the lead vocalist and the guitarist of your band. It's a three-piece band. Tell us how and when you formed.
Yeah, well, we got together probably this time last year, sort of April, May 2019.
Not too long then, not too long ago.
Yeah, no, it's a fairly new project really. And the idea was, being a three-piece. On the bass is my best mate, Ange. I've known him since we went to school together, so we were about 5 years old when we first met. So it's been a while. And then on drums is my cousin Chris, and so the idea was, I was sort of looking at doing a new project, and I've written a whole load of songs. And I thought, what was it I really want to do with music? It's more a bit of fun really at the time, and I had all these ideas. So obviously I've known Ange for so long, and we were playing in a band at the time, which really wasn't sort of going anywhere, if you like. So we got together and put these songs together, and it's going really well, to be honest. We the first thing we did, we recorded Wake Up Call, which is on our EP last August.
That's your debut EP, Misfit Misplaced.
That's right, yeah. That's a 4-track EP, but this is sort of like sort of a bonus track, if you like. We recorded it in Croydon last year, and then we did a video for that, which you can find on YouTube. And we, at the same time, we met a great filmmaker as well. So he sort of worked with us to do these videos, which is brilliant. And so we went from there. Then we started doing some gigs in Croydon, and we just started this year. We did a gig up at the Dublin Castle, Hampden, and we had a whole load of gigs planned, sort of going into March, April, and everywhere else. And then obviously this has happened. We recorded the other 3 songs, the main part of the EP. We recorded that in January. That was down at Anchor Baby Studios down in Ashford, Kent, with a guy called Dan Lucas, and went really well. So we're really happy with the result we got there. And we're going to actually go back in the studio in August, in a couple of weeks' time, and record another 6 songs with him.
Okay.
So we're getting as much stuff as we can do at the moment, and then as soon as we get back out again, we'll be there. So we'll be ready, really. So
have you been able to reschedule all of those gigs that you had to cancel?
Not really. The ones we had, sort of an actual EP launch. That was sort of set up for May. That was in a pub in Croydon. I don't know if that pub's open at the moment, actually, and I haven't spoken to them yet. So hopefully, those sort of gigs we can sort of revisit again. We are booked in to do one gig in Islington on the 5th of September. But again, that's all. I mean, that could change. So see how it goes.
Don't know with the autumn at the moment what's going to happen and what isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, I heard you've been working on a documentary about your band called Creating Misfit. So tell us about that.
Yeah, well, that's sort of come about, the whole idea of this project. Well, if I tell you back sort of January last year, I had issues with my
mental. Take me back to January last year, before all of this corona stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when it's all, the world was a bit more, sort of normal. But
a bit more living in bliss,
ignorant
bliss.
This is it.
What was about to happen.
Exactly, But so going back to then, I actually had sort of a few issues with my mental health at the time, and I mean, it wasn't great. It was a bit of a dark period for me, but it's all for my own therapy and my own way of getting through things. What I started doing was sort of focusing on the music and focusing on, getting myself in a better place, if you like. So the whole idea of the documentary is that we've sort of filmed every part of the band sort of growing, if you like. We've got quite a bit of footage now, and the idea is, so it's going to start from the first few rehearsals, and then we've got a bit of footage from the first gig we did, and then it's building up. There's some stuff from the EP, and it's just how we've sort of come together. I mean, the whole idea, like even with the title of the band, Misfit Hero sort of thing. I've sort of got that name because I wanted something that was sort of reflected where I was at the time, if you know. If
Yeah, I
that
want
makes
to ask you about the name actually.
Yeah, well, that's the whole idea of sort of feeling like a misfit, really. That's where it came from originally. I mean, I was in a sort of terrible place, and the idea was to do everything I could to get out of it, and part of that was putting the band together, and what we've done as a band is just trying to do everything creative, just trying to keep ourselves in that mindset, and I mean, what I've realised personally, if I mean, because I've had issues with depression and anxiety, and what I've realised and what works for me is if I keep myself creative and I keep, talking about what's happened and keep the band stuff going. I mean, even stuff like we do now, I can feel myself getting more positive, and
It's
it
like
works
therapy in a way, isn't it?
definitely. Yeah,
Writing music, talking, it's all part of the same sort of healing process, I think.
exactly. Yeah, and
Definitely.
and you start finding yourself a bit better. You sort of realise what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and so all the way along this sort of putting this band together and where we started, where we are now, we sort of documented it, and we're looking at the things that work for us and being creative and just doing as much as we can ourselves. Really, I mean, we haven't. Like I was saying about the videos, about the same time as I was putting the band together, I met up with a guy called Gareth who's producing the videos, and the same sort of idea with him as well is that we've worked together and there's no pressure, we're not putting pressure on ourselves. It's just a release of creativity, if you like, and seems to be working. And we're just sort of trying to enjoy it as much as we can.
So we're planning on releasing the documentary. When do you think it'll be finished and ready for us all to see?
Yeah, well, hopefully it should be in the next couple of months. I'd like to get it out before we get the new material out. So, and
like
actually,
an introduction to the band before the new material comes out.
Yeah,
this and for people that aren't for people that aren't familiar with your music and your sound, how would you describe it?
That's a good question. We are quite.
Is there a good answer?
Yeah, I should have thought about it. No, I mean, it is hard to describe. I think if you've heard our stuff, there's a lot of influence from sort of punk rock, definitely hard rock. If you listen to our song Pieces, there's even a bit of ska influence in there on the drums, and on the bass riff on there's quite ska, if you like. But we sort of cover a lot of genres, if you like. We're trying to we don't sort of sit down and say what is it we want to do. The songs just sort of come quite naturally, and being a three-piece as well, it's quite nice to get your own sort of your own feel and your own style into a song. And it's a difficult one. I mean, we are quite heavy. I mean, I sort of, myself and Ange, we sort of grew up on the heaviest stuff. We started with Iron Maiden when we were at school, and then we played in sort of a thrash band, if you like, as well. Sort of playing Megadeth and Metallica and Pantera and that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of different influences, and I think what we've done with this is just chucked everything in there and just see what works, really. So
throw it all in a pot and see what comes out.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. This is it. But there's definitely like a grunge influence in there as well. I mean, I've sort of, at the time when grunge was quite big in the 90s, I was sort of more into the heavier, thrashier stuff. And what I've sort of done now is gone back and listened to like the bands of that sort of time, if you like, the Nirvanas, Alice in Chains, and that sort of stuff. And they're sort of definitely an influence on what we do. So there's definitely a part of that. So it's a real mixture of everything, really.
You've got some exciting things coming up. Basically, you've got your debut EP already. You've got another release. I assume that'll be another EP. So it's 6 tracks. So would that be like a mini album or? Yeah,
I mean, the idea was to get the whole the way it sort of worked. We had these 10 songs from the start, and we've been working on them, building them up. So the idea was to sort of get an album's worth of material. But I think probably what we'll end up doing is releasing a song every month or every couple of months for the next 6 months or so, and just keep ourselves ticking over, really. So each song will probably have a video that goes with it, and then we can just sort of push each song individually. And then we will also have a CD, an album that you'll be able to buy as well, with all 10 songs on it. So Yeah, we're just going to do it that way, I think, and that'll keep us ticking over for the next 6 months, definitely. So yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, it's been lovely talking to you, and I wish you all the best with the new release as well. And hopefully next year we'll have lots of gigs for you and some festivals as well.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you let us know about that.
We will do, definitely.
Okay, well, all the best.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, see you later. Take care.